2025 is going to be a recovery year, but will it rebound with price increase or a surge in home sales? There are two key buyer segments that's a missing ingredient right now in the GTA market. And a lot of experts, including Remax, Realtor, all of that, they're forecasting flat home prices for this year ahead. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the future of the GTA real estate market at the start of this new year. The big question, is 2025 going to bring in a hot market with soaring prices, or will things stay flat? Remax is predicting that Toronto home prices will stay essentially flat in 2025 with just maybe a slight increase, and sales will go up by 12.5%, mainly by move-up buyers, people looking for bigger homes. But here's the catch. There are two key groups, first-time home buyers and investors, that are noticeably absent from this equation. So we may see an increase in home sales, but the excess supply won't be absorbed by enough demand. First-time buyers are typically a huge part of our market, making up 30 to 40% of all buyers. And right now, that number has dropped to maybe around 10%. And why? Affordability is definitely the main issue. Between high down payments, the stress test, which requires buyers to qualify at 2% higher than the actual mortgage rate, many people simply cannot enter the market. And unless they get a significant financial help, like a gift or inheritance from their family, we see some of our clients actually selling their properties back in their home country so they can have a good down payment in order for them to qualify for a mortgage. If interest rates do continue to drop and or the stress test, let's say, gets adjusted, things might become a little bit easier, hopefully later on in this year. But our biggest challenge is still affordability. House prices are still expensive. Even though prices have dropped 15 to 25% since 2022 at the peak of the market, they're still more than 35% higher than back in 2019. So this is still a big challenge. And it's not just first-time buyers that are missing from the market. There's also the investors who were dominant back in 21 to 2022, and they're not coming back in large numbers right now either. Because during the pandemic, interest rates were super low, attracting so many investors. Now, we're not seeing a ton of investors returning unless the rates drop significantly, which doesn't seem to be anytime soon. So let's talk more about what will happen with interest rates this year. So we are anticipating lower interest rates in 2025. Buyers are hoping to, get more buying power with lower rates. Sellers are hoping it's going to get them higher home prices, right? Now, I suspect there might be a disconnect between expectations and reality when it's going to come when it comes to interest rates. The Bank of Canada will likely continue to cutting interest rates in 2025, which will help lower the rates on variable mortgages. Variable rates may drop to around 4% or maybe into the high 3% range, and that's far from the low rates that many buyers are hoping for. 5-year fixed rates are also expected to remain elevated this year. These rates are tied to the 5-year Government of Canada bond yield, which is strongly influenced by US bond yields. And the economy in the US is pretty good, so that kind of kept bond yields high. And this trend will likely spill over to us in Canada. So as a result, 5-year fixed rates may stay in the 4% range, and that may be the lowest that we're going to see in 2025. The big picture is that even with rate cuts, our GTA market faces many other challenges, so it's not going to heat up as quickly. So there's a surplus inventory right now, and that's one of our biggest challenges. At the end of 2024, we saw a 20% increase in listings compared to a year ago. With more homes available than there is immediate demand, prices are unlikely to surge. And remember, first-time buyers, traditionally a huge driver of the market, they're still largely on the sidelines. So then what's keeping the market moving? Move-up buyers. These are homeowners who already own their homes. They have built up their equity and they're looking to upsize. They're less impacted by higher interest rates. and they're expected to make up the majority of buyers in 2025. So the shift in buyer demographics is shaping the market in a way that we haven't seen in a while. So if you already own your own home and you're looking to upsize to something larger, 2025 could be your year to do it. There's more inventory, relatively stable prices. There is an opportunity to make your move without getting all caught up in bidding war and craziness. Plus, if you have built up enough equity in your current home, you're in a much better position to handle also the higher borrowing costs. Another key factor that's keeping prices more flat or a very small growth in our market is the new build and the resale condos. There are more than 6 months of inventory right now in the GTA. So 2025 is going to continue to be a challenging year for condos. Many condos set to be completed in 2025 will likely be worth a lot less than what buyers paid for them 2, 3, or 4 years ago. At the time of purchase, buyers were paying 30 to 40% premium over existing resale units, and they were anticipating continued price appreciation. Now, prices have remained flat over the past few years, meaning these units will not hold the value that buyers were expecting. We'll likely continue to see more buyers, unfortunately, default on their purchases. The condo market is going to take a lot longer time to recover, perhaps 12 to 18 months. And it's going to have a trickle-down effect on new construction projects as well. These challenges will likely be resolved quietly. Our government, our banking regulator, the major banks, they're going to take steps to mitigate the fallout, and they're going to prevent panic or distress in the condo market, right? Another key difference in 2025 is our slower population growth. In 2024, our population grew by over 1 million people, right? But this growth is projected to slow in 2025, 2026 actually. And it's a, federal government decision to target less population growth. This is going to impact the rental market with reduced demand. It's going to put some downward pressure on rents as well. At the end of last year, we did see a record number of properties listed for lease, and much higher than we've seen in many years. So now the rental market is going to have higher inventory, more properties are listed for rent, but with less demand if there are less people moving here. And it's not going to be permanent. The government is always making changes to policies and to adapt to the economy. And this year, with the new election coming up, we should be optimistic, and we hope to see some new and better changes in the near future. So let's recap. What's the takeaway? The GTA real estate market is expected to stay balanced in 2025, with prices staying relatively flat, or at the very least a slight increase in the high demand areas. And increased home sales activity mostly will be driven by move-up buyers. And affordability challenges are going to remain. Interest rate cuts and inventory levels are creating some opportunities, especially for homeowners to upsize to larger homes, or even to downsize to a condo from a larger property. That is going to have a lot of opportunities there. So it is a year of recovery. What do you think about these predictions? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're looking for more insights, check out my other videos on market trends and tips for home sellers or buyers. And please don't forget to like or subscribe and hit the bell for more updates. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you on the next video.